everyone, it's Lainey, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you are having an amazing day so far. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Today we're going to talk trash, and a lot of it. I have quite a bit of trash, and I've broken it up into 3 categories: makeup, skincare slash body care slash hair care. This video will be dedicated to my makeup empties. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. The 2 makeup removing wipes I have in here for more high end, the Shine Gloss by Younique. I love these. A lot of makeup wipes leave my skin feeling really gross and gunked up. These do not. My face feels really clean, really hydrated afterwards, and I love it for those nights where I just don't feel like washing my face, but I know I need to take off my makeup. They are not cheap, but they are really good. For a cheap, affordable one that I really like, I have the Burt's Bees Facial Cleansing Towelette. I like to get the ones that are sensitive skin. One thing I love about Burt's Bees are they are not all natural, but pretty darn close, 99.1%. They do a very good job. I will say the Shine Gloss remove my makeup a lot more, but these do a decent job for a drugstore product. I have a makeup removing spray for my brushes. This I got at Ulta. It's the Japanesque. I don't know if I'm saying that right, which is a very high-end brand and usually a pretty raved about brand. This was rosewater scented, but honestly, it smelled exactly like oranges. I did not smell rosewater at all. I hated this, you guys. I hated this. It left everything so oily and gross. I mean, my hands would get coated in it, just like pure oil on my hands and on the brushes. Ugh, did not like it. My next cleaning product for makeup is the Liquid Blender Cleanser for the Beauty Blender. I got this when I bought I got this when I bought one of my beauty blenders, and I'm not a fan. I don't think it does a great job. It takes a lot of product, and this stuff is not cheap. I love using Dr. Bronner's liquid soap, and it does a much better job at a cheaper price. The next little random thing I have in here are these pair of fake lashes. They were by Kiss Lashes. I want to say they're called like their flutter or they're like flutter or double row lashes, so they have like 2 rows of lashes within each lash strip, so that gives a more natural look. They were terrible. Now, I will disclaimer, I'm terrible at putting on fake lashes. I never do it, but every once in a while I decide I'm going to try it again. These were not a good one. The band is so thick, it was not pliable. I couldn't get it to bend with my eyelid, and I couldn't get it to stay put. I have actually heard other people saying that they had issues with the Kiss lashes for that same reason. The band is just too thick. Next, we will go into face powders, and I have quite a few here. Talking about powder foundations, I have 2. For a cheap, affordable, good powder, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder is actually really good. Now, you don't get a ton of coverage with it, but it's really nice for setting things, for if you get too much blush on, popping it over top to tone it down, or just kind of going over the face when you apply liquid foundation to get a little extra coverage. But very nice for such an affordable price. I've been really impressed with most Wet n Wild products. For a high-end product, I love the Younique Touch Powder Foundation. It's pretty darn pigmented, it feels really nice, it goes on really well, it blends out nicely, and with my oily skin, sometimes I just like doing the simplicity of just putting on a powder foundation with a primer underneath. I love this. I also use it for setting areas, or if I get too much blush, I can pop it over top, or if I get a little muddy and I need to brighten up the center of the face, I really love this powder foundation. Now for just plain old setting powders. I have 3 plain ones here. First of all, the e.l.f. Translucent Setting Powder. I really love it, but it does leave a white cast. For such an affordable price, it is a really nice product, but you do have to be careful, or you could be flashback, what is it, Molly, Mary, flashback, whatever. I'm not sure the term. I'm not cool like that. I'm not hip on the lingo, but definitely can have some flashback problems, but really a decent powder for the price tag. I mean, e.l.f. does a pretty darn good job most of the time. I used to love the Tarte Smooth Operator. It does do a good job of kind of blurring out pores imperfections, but again, it has a pretty decent white cast. I actually think it has more of a white cast than the e.l.f. and this one is a lot more expensive. So it's a decent product, but I'm not going to repurchase. The worst powder I've ever used, and I wanted to love it, the Ofra Oil Control Pressed Powder. Now, it did help control my oil, but let me just show you how white it is. It is so white. I mean, it leaves like a total white spot. The other day I put some in my T-zone because it does help control oil, but I have to go over top with my Younique powder foundation to try to cover up how white it is, and still it leaves the area much lighter than the rest of the face. It does control oil, but it is not worth the amount of white powder it leaves behind, and it doesn't really buff out either. That's the weird thing. For a finishing powder, but not your plain old finishing powder, this is the Ambient Powder by Hourglass in Dim Light. This is a beautiful powder. It gives you a radiance you won't even believe. It is so pretty. I'm like out. I mean, I like used it up. I can't even swatch it for you guys. I went ham, and there's nothing left. I love this powder. I like to use it on the perimeter of my face, especially if I'm wanting to golden myself up a little bit. One thing to be aware of though, it does have kind of a pinky tone to it, and if you're not careful and you apply too much, you can start to look a little pink or red. So that is something to be careful with, but I'm definitely going to try out more of the Hourglass powders because this one is super nice. I have two bronzing products in here, and they're actually by the same brand. They're both by Benefit, and they're both a Hoola bronzer. I got a sample of the Hoola powder bronzer, and oh my gosh, it is so good. If you want a nice bronzer that can really multitask as a contour, the Hoola bronzer is where it's at. It's the perfect amount of warmth and the perfect amount of cool. It's awesome, and this little sample lasted forever. A little bit goes such a long way. I would definitely consider repurchasing this. Now, for the liquid version, terrible. So glad I didn't buy it and got it as a sample. It's just orange. It's orange. It's like, you look like a carrot. It's not good. Would not recommend that one at all. Moving on from bronzer to contour, this is my Cover FX Cream Contour Palette that I had forever. Cover FX is an amazing brand. They make such good products, and this was a great palette. But I've decided I don't do cream contour palettes, and I'm steering away from contour palettes in general because it seems like there's usually only one or two colors in the whole palette that you use a lot, so it doesn't seem worth it. I would rather just buy the individual products that work for me because I feel like I'm wasting so much product when I buy a palette like this. And also, if you can't tell, the cream palettes just start to collect dust and dirt. It just really started to freak me out, so I stopped using this one. I thought it was an excellent product, but I won't repurchase. Sorry, Cover FX. Alright, now for face primer-ish products. I'm going to say ish because they're not all exactly a face primer. Porefessional by Benefit. It is a really nice primer, and it does definitely help my pores look smaller, but there's just something about it that I don't fall in love with. I debated back and forth if I would buy the full size of this, and I don't think I would. It's just, it doesn't wow me. I know it's very popular though, and there are people who are absolutely crazy about it, so it's worth giving a try. Buying a small size or getting a sample from Sephora, definitely worth trying, but I don't think I will repurchase. Next up is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I honestly like this a little bit more than the Benefit. Something about the texture I like a little bit more. Again, not my all-time favorite primer. I just recently got one in BoxyCharm not too long back, so I have a travel size right now, and there's a good chance I would probably buy the full size again at some point, but if you can't tell, I'm a little picky on my primers. I'm on the fence on this one. This I got in one of my beauty subscriptions. It's the Avanci, I think you say it. Avance? I'm not sure how to say that. Flawless Effects Skincare. It says Mattifying Emulsion Sheer Primer Pore Refiner. I was so excited when I got this because I was like, oh, I'm oily, I have huge pores, this should be awesome. Did not like it. One thing that's weird about me is I have oily skin, but I don't like mattifying primers. They make my face feel so dry and tight, I can't do it. This one did that, can't do it, can't stand it, it freaks me out. I'm like, ugh, get it off. Would not recommend or purchase. No. One primer sample I got that I bought the full size is the Primer Oil by Smashbox. Oh, it's amazing. Just that I have oily skin, right? So you're like, oh, why would you wear that? It made my oil my oil production less. It's like a miracle worker. I haven't really been using it in the summertime. I don't know why, I just haven't been this summer. I probably should so it can help my oil issues. But I love this, and I was reading more about it recently online. It says you can use it in your hair and all kinds of fun stuff. Really, really love this. Already bought the full size. Then the last two came in a kit, the Professional License to Blot and Dr. Feelgood. Honestly, both hated them both. Don't feel like this one really did much of anything, and I don't even understand how to use Dr. Feelgood. It's like this thick, weird balm. I tried it a couple times. I was like, doesn't make sense to me. What am I supposed to do with this? Now for face products. I don't use up a ton of foundations because I have so many that I rotate through, but this is the NARS. It's called the NARS, does it say? All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and it truly is weightless. It is such a thin but highly, highly pigmented formula. I think it's really beautiful on the skin. I enjoyed it with my oily skin. I haven't repurchased just because I'm always wanting to try new things, but I would definitely consider repurchasing this one. It is a really nice, mega pigmented foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all. I really enjoyed this, and I am in the shade Light 3 Gobi. Next, when I'm wanting a little more hydration, a little more glow, I really love this Younique BB Flawless. It's a BB cream, and it is quite thick. It is not as pigmented as the, what's the popular one on the market that I'm blanking on right now? I've tried it. I love it. Can't think of the name. There's something that's just a little different about this. It just feels different on the skin. I really enjoy it, and one of my favorite ways to wear it is by putting it under a powder. I think what makes it different is it's tacky. It's got a really tacky consistency, so I like to put powders over top because I feel like it's really going to stay put. Then two concealers. I have the Cover FX concealer, which is a super nice, super pigmented, comfortable concealer. They make great products. I know I said that earlier, but they really, really do. I haven't bought it again, not because I don't like it, but because I want to try out other things, but super nice. I would recommend it. And then on the opposite spectrum, super cheap, the LA Girl Pro Concealer HD. It's amazing. It's such a good, cheap concealer. If you are on a budget, I would definitely recommend this. I've seen people use the darker shades for contouring, and I want to try that sometime because it looks beautiful, at least on YouTube. Next, let's move on to brows. I've got quite a few products here. I've got this in a subscription, the Brow Gel by Tanya Crooks. Really great brow gel. It is a clear brow gel, and it holds those babies in place. I probably wouldn't buy it again unless I could buy it at Sephora or Ulta. I'm not big into buying just like one thing online because I usually have to pay shipping. It was very good. Very, very good. Next, I have the Younique Brow Gel, which I really love. Now, this does not have that firm hold like the Tanya, or I think Anastasia Beverly Hills has one that's like really firm. This is the opposite. It's really soft, it's got fibers in it, and it just makes your brows look fuller and more pigmented. It's really nice on those days where you don't want to go above and beyond in your brows, but you want to pop something in there and just make them look a little bit more fuller, a little more defined. Really love this. For brow pencils, I have, for high-end, the Younique Brow Pencil. I love it because it's a very thin pencil with a spoolie on the end, and it's great for getting in there and making the hair-like strokes. I actually used one today. You can get in there and really make the hair-like strokes, then use the spoolie to kind of buff it out so you don't have any harshness to the brow. Really a great eyebrow pencil. Then I have two e.l.f. products. This is the e.l.f. Brow Kit. I used to love it. It's got the wax in there and the powder, but I kind of moved on from it. It's decent. There's better out there, but decent for the price tag. I love, love, love their brow pencil. This one is a bit thicker, so when I want a bolder, thicker brow, I love using this, and it also has the spoolie on the bottom. Coffee Break with Danny uses this all the time. It's very good. Would highly recommend this if you are going to if you are wanting to shop drugstore. Now for mascaras, because I have a bunch of them here, you guys. So on the high end, I have a lash primer by Tarte. I liked it. It's a white primer, so if you don't like white primer, stay away from this. But I found the L'Oreal Voluminous a white primer, and it works honestly better than this one, so you can save a lot of money that way. Then for high end, I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It was good, but honestly I wasn't blown away like I thought I should be. Bristles are too long, and it honestly is terrifying to use it. Did not love it. Lash Paradise, so much better. Drugstore, I love, 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 love the Voluminous Carbon Black. 2 tubes in here because I love this. This has been one I've bought regularly when I'm wanting a quick mascara day. When I'm wanting a full-on, full lash, my 3D Plus Mascara by Younique, absolutely. I cannot use anything else and get the same results. I look like I have fake eyelashes. They're huge, they're thick, they're amazing. I buy this all the time. Then for another primer, I have the Blink Primer I got in a beauty subscription, and I loved this. You could honestly get away with using it as a mascara, but I really loved this as a primer. I will say black primers are nice because it's less work. You don't have to take so long to cover it up with mascara. You can't tell the primer from the mascara. Really loved this. I actually only have one eyeshadow in here, and it is one I hated. It's the Color Tattoo by Maybelline Liquid. Terrible, you guys. Patchy, didn't stay put. I mean, just horrendous. Awful. Then for eyeliners, I have 2 in here, the Sephora and the Girlactic. I loved this Girlactic. Felt tip is so long and bendable. It was so easy to make a wing. I would definitely buy this if I could find it online at like Ulta or Amazon. I gotta look again because if I could buy it along with something else, I would totally get it again. It is so good. And then the Sephora one, it was decent. Honestly, if you're gonna do liquid liner, Wet n Wild makes some that are better than the Sephora. Then for one last eye product, I have the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I love this. I was getting tired of using it because I've had it forever. This lasts forever. I'm definitely considering repurchasing this. I kind of want to try the Urban Decay next, but I might go back to this one. This was amazing and kept everything in place with my oily eyelids, which is huge for me. And then for lip products, I have the Lip Injection by Too Faced. I loved it. It definitely works, but after using it a few times, it was like my lips became adjusted to it and I stopped seeing so many results. It does burn like Hades though, you guys. If you have sensitive lips, stay away. It hurts the first time you use it. I'm not kidding. Definitely works, but I'm not going to buy it again. I got the Liptiful and that works better in my opinion because I don't have to keep applying something to the lips. This is the Lancome Juicy Shaker Lip Oil. I loved it at first, but I never found myself using it, and then I started to get freaked out about how dirty the sponge probably was, and I felt like the inside was looking really strange. The product's always separated, that's why it's called the Juicy Shaker, but it just started to look kind of thick inside and freaked me out. I'm like, I'm getting rid of that. I hardly ever used it. It was not something that called my name. I would not repurchase. 2 lip products I wanted to love, the Melted Lips by Too Faced. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Did anyone else, okay, terrible in my opinion, did anyone else have issues with the tip, which is like a sponge, like a hard tip with a sponge over it? I don't know how to describe it, but mine literally, it's coming out now, I can't believe it. Mine would always get clogged. Like I could never use them because they constantly, like this one, nothing. Always clogged. I finally gave up trying because mine were always clogged. They have a beautiful range of colors and they feel nice once you get them on. They don't really dry down like a lot of liquid lipsticks, but the applicator sucks in my opinion. And then another lip product is just a chapstick, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's, oh wait, here. Pogo? It was the peach one. It smells delicious. I believe it's all natural and it works amazing. I would definitely repurchase this. It's so good if you are a chapstick junkie like I am. This last little moisturizing lip product-ish, saying ish on that one, is by L'Occitane. I love their stuff, but dang, it's expensive. I got this, I want to say is a sample. It's their 100% shea butter. It's amazing. I would put it on my lips. I would put it around my eyes at night before bed, and I love, love, love this stuff. I mean, it's so good. I mean, I used it all. It's so good. Would I repurchase? I'm not sure, just because it's so expensive. But maybe. I loved it. There is a chance, but it would have to be a special occasion because it's so expensive. My only highlighter I have in here is Shy Beam by Benefit. I loved this stuff. It's like a matte highlighter. It's not shimmery. It's really kind of a brightener. My favorite way to use it, if you have super dark under eyes, put just a little bit right in here and then blend it out just like a triangle like you would with your concealer. Then conceal over top and you will see a world of difference. It truly makes almost your under eyes glow. Loved this. I would definitely consider repurchasing this. My Morphe brush, this one broke. I glued it, came unglued again. This one is my only real major fail with Morphe brushes thus far. It totally took a crap. And honestly, it wasn't that long after getting it, but all my other brushes are hanging in there, so that's good. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my empties. I know there was quite a few, and I was trying to move quickly through this because I knew it was going to be a long video. So if you have any questions about any of these products, leave them down below. I love chatting with you guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat because I love getting to know you guys better. And as always, please try to stay positive because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.